Iain, Malcolm Turnbull has just been sworn in Canberra. He promised a more intelligent and honest conversation about the economy. What does that conversation sound like?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the vote was held just a very short time ago. He's held a short press conference. Basically, where Tony Abbott struggled was his ability to produce some kind of economic narrative that voters would understand. And this is what Malcolm Turnbull is now saying that he will do. He says it's a very exciting time for Australia. There are plenty of opportunities, but of course there are lots of challenges too. And he says that what he needs to do is to explain to the Australian people how to make the most of those opportunities and how to work with the challenges. But very little on detail so far.
Iain, I'm trying out an economic narrative for you. I'm looking right now at trade balances with various countries. China's exports in the first quarter to, Australia's exports in the first quarter to China were $16 billion. That's basically the sum of the other three competitors, Japan, South Korea, and the United States. I mean, is the real question right now something that no prime minister can really deal with, which is slowdown in China?
Sure, that's right. I think, in fact, if you look across the OECD, for example, Australia is the most exposed country to China of any developed country. So there's a big issue there about all the commodity exports that the country sends there. And what it's been trying to do is to stimulate other sectors. The currency has fallen quite a lot. Interest rates are at a record low. These things are all helping, but they're not helping enough. We don't yet have non-mining firms, for example, picking up any of the slack, or very little of the slack at least, in terms of investing in new industries and new services. So whoever's in charge has to face up to that challenge. And work out how best to deal with it.
Iain, Tony Abbott's approval ratings dropped with every new budget he released. Do we have any sense of what a different Turnbull budget would look like?
Not really. Again, it's very early days yet. The early indication is that Turnbull says for now he'll stick with the major policies that Abbott has held.